Hello traders, welcome to another video on this channel. In this video, we are going to be doing top-down analysis using this live chart, and we are going to be predicting the market in real time. So stay tuned and make sure you watch to the end, because by the end of this video, you are going to have a live trade which might benefit from in the upcoming weeks. So stay tuned as I break down the chart with you. So now this is the weekly time frame, and this is Euro AUD, and we are going to be looking at it, right? First of all, what we can see here on Euro AUD on the weekly time frame is the market happens to tap into this zone here, right? The market has tapped into this zone here, and you can clearly see that the market is bullish on the weekly time frame. The market has tapped into this zone here, and the market is trying to make its way up. So also on this weekly time frame, we have this gap here, right? We have this volume imbalance. This is what we call a volume. This is what we refer to in the market as volume imbalance, right? You might have been getting your mentors refer to this. You don't know what it means. It's the space between between these two candles, right? Let's say the market closed here on the previous week, then it opens here. So this space like this is what we could refer to as the volume imbalance. So we can also see that the market is just from filling out this volume imbalance, right? This is where the volume imbalance started, as you can rightfully see. And then we have this zone, we have this demand zone here that the market is reacting to. This zone, this is the zone that we are looking at here. So we have gotten our bigger time frame view on in this market. Now what we want to do now is go down to the daily time frame and see if we can get any theory to support this our weekly narrative here. We are here on the daily time frame, and basically what we can see here on the daily time frame is this was that our demand zone, right? This was that our demand zone. I don't know, my network seems to be tripping a little. Please just bear with me. On a daily time frame here, what we can say is we have this is still the demand zone we talked about on the weekly time frame. Also on a daily time frame, we can see that this market went up after filling this volume imbalance. We have some sort of momentum, as if the market wants to push to the downside. So we can also recall that this is an inducement on a weekly time frame. So we are not expecting that price will hold from this zone right up to this zone here. So now this might be a sign that the market wants to reverse from this weekly imbalance we saw here, right? This weekly volume imbalance that we saw here. Now we have gotten our bias on the daily time frame, right? And if we want to look at this, though price is actually bullish, we might be looking for a more deeper retracement down to this zone here. So for people that might be trading the other strategies, maybe like the trend line, you are going to see something of this sort here. But I don't actually trade the trend line. I have my way which I mark out my structure. So this market here looks more of bullish move here at the moment, right, on our daily time frame. Maybe when we switch over to the smaller time frame, we might see a change in market bias, but at the moment, for now, the market is still looking bullish, right? Even though we might see that the market has started giving us a little hint of order flow, right, of bearish order flow by mitigating this zone and trying to push down. So we might also be expecting that the market might mitigate this zone and also push down for now, right? But at this level on our daily time frame, we are still bullish. So let's switch over to the 4 hours time frame and look at the market now. So on the 4 hours time frame, right, I want us to focus on this leg of price, because this is the most recent leg of price. So on this leg of price, if we happen to mark out our structure, we can clearly see that the market has been bullish here. The market has been bullish. The market created this break of structure at this point. Then it went ahead, right, to create the next break of structure, which is this zone. Like I say, right, for a break of structure to be valid, the market also needs to take out an inducement. So here, the first pullback is this pullback here. So the market has already taken that out. So we have our valid break of structure here. Then here as well, we have this pullback here, which is acting as our inducement in this case. So basically, this market is still pushing to the upside, right? After this break of structure, we also have this break of structure at this point in the market. So this is our last break of structure to the upside, and this break of structure is valid because of this pullback right here. You can see that the market came, swept the pullback, and it went back up. So at this point in time, you can see that this market has pretty much been bullish here. This market has pretty much been bullish. And after being bullish for some time, the market switched to being bearish. So this is still our 4 hours time frame. You need to remember that this is still our 4 hours time frame. So the market has switched to being bearish. At this point, at this point whereby the market switched to being bearish, sorry, this is a change of characters. We have changed our bias now, and it's now clearly outlining our the bias now is almost as the bias of the daily time frame, where we saw market respecting this order flow and this next order flow. So since we have a change of characters here, now we are now looking at a possible downtrend. We are looking at the possible start of a downtrend. So let's go back to the daily time frame, right? If you have an eye and you carefully look at the daily time frame here, you can see that I mentioned that this was an inducement right here. This was an inducement for the daily time frame. So we knew that this might hold for a short term, but it will not actually sustain this move to the upside. So we now have this bias on the weekly, on the 4 hours time frame. So on this 4 hours time frame now, we might see that the market might want to push down to this low. The market is somehow pushing down to this low, and also this trend line, right? This trend line also, you can also use this to identify a market direction. Maybe market is bullish or bearish, you can use that. But if you want to be detailed about your market direction, you are going to use market structure and map it out manually. So after this change of characters, what are we seeing in this market? After this change of characters here, what are we actually looking for in this market? First of all, after this change of characters, we mark out our inducement, right? So this is our last pullback here. You can see this doji candle, the low and the high of the, it took out the low of the previous candle, and the high was also taken. So this is actually our 4 hours inducement in this area. If you wish to mark it up here, right? If you wish to mark it up here that you don't see that one, then it's still valid. You will not have missed anything, because sometimes some people will not spot this pullback here. So now we have determined that this market has switched on the 4 hours time frame to being bearish. So what are we expecting on the 4 hours time frame? Since the market has switched on the 4 hours time frame, this was our change of characters, and after the change of characters, this was our trading range, right? So we are looking to maybe sell off a zone around here to continue to the downside. So the market already saw gave a change of characters here. The market tapped into this zone, right, into this order flow here. It gave a change of characters over here. This was a change of characters for an entry. This is an entry change of characters, because when the market tapped into this order flow here, right, it saw and gave us a change of characters. Then after that, we had this inducement here, whereby the market came back to mitigate this zone here and sell. So after the market sold like that, it gave us a break of structure. So this is our new break of structure in this range. So that is that we mark it out. So in this our new break of structure in this range, we are looking for this market to continue bearish as well, because this market has been bearish from the word go. So in this new break of structure, using this our 4 hours time frame, what we can identify here is we have an inducement over here. This is our inducement. Now the market has already gone as far as taking out this our inducement in this range. This is our new trading range. Our new trading range starts from here down to here. This is where you are concerned about looking for a trade entry. So now the market has already gone ahead to take out our inducement, and we have two pure eyes as well, right? We have a POI here. This is our decisional POI. And on this time frame, what you can also notice is this low, sorry, this high here, the high above this POI has been swept. So this high has been swept and we are expecting it to act as our liquidity sweep. If you look clearly here, you can see that we have a very tiny, let me wipe this out. So if you look closely here, you can see that we have a very tiny imbalance above this POI here, right? So we have this very tiny imbalance before this POI. So we have another POI above this zone here. So when this market swept this high here, it tapped into that our POI, and we are looking for an entry to the downside. So what we are going to do here is we are going to go further into the market, into this zone here, into this zone here, and we are going to further refine it and see what we can get here so that we can get a very good entry. So let's head down to the 2 hours time frame and look at that zone. Oh, let me check the 3 hours. Okay, so on our 3 hours time frame, right, we have this zone. This is our highest candle in this range, and you can see that this zone has been mitigated. So this zone has actually been mitigated, and we are looking for prices to continue. We are looking for prices to continue to the downside. So basically, our first target, right, for you that you want to, you are looking for the next break of structure, our first target should be this low. So now that this market has already tapped into this zone here, right, we are going to look for an entry after a change of characters here. So what are we expecting here? This, if you look very well, right, you can see that this other zone, this other high here swept this one. So this is where our change of characters is supposed to be. If price happens to close below here, then we can have a move like this, then we can look to sell and target this low. So basically, this is what we're expecting for Euro AUD. You can do this on your 1 hour time frame, right? On the 1 hour time frame, you can pick out a good zone. You get into the chart, you look at it, right? You can see from here, I think this zone is slightly still unmitigated. Oh, it has been mitigated. So you just need to look for an entry now within this range. After the market breaks this zone here, you look for an entry within this range to sell off from. So basically, that was it. And thanks for watching. God bless you. Please subscribe so that you can get to watch more educative content like this in the future. God bless you all. Have a nice weekend.